So good. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is so wonderful to see all of your smiling faces today. I had a plan for a video and then I thought about it. I backtracked. I took a step back and I was like, you know what? If I was me, 3 years ago when I started in coffee, what would I want to know? And I thought about it and then I realized I had no idea what everything on bags of coffee meant. There are all these words and numbers and latitudes and longitudes and just so much to deal with. And I was like, yeah, let's break that down today. Let's do that. I hope you all are doing so well today. So yeah, like I said, we are going to be breaking down a bag of coffee so that the next time you go into a store or you're looking online for coffee, you know what you're looking at. Because when you look at a bag of coffee like this, I mean, there is just a lot to take in, honestly. There are tasting notes, there's latitude and longitude, there's varietals, there's how it was processed, where it's from, the brand, it's ridiculous. So we're just going to take a moment and break it down. I currently have I have 5 different coffees here from 5 different companies, and granted, most of them are pretty similar. So we're going to be focusing mainly on these 2 bags. This is from Portola Coffee, and this is from Klatch Coffee. But we also have this bag of Spring Fling from Madcap Coffee, and this bag of Gesha from Ecuador, and this one here from Cooper's Coffee. And if we just take a moment and look at all of these different bags, you'll notice that there are some similarities between all of them. Granted, all of them will say where the coffee's from, whether, that's Colombia, Panama, Kenya, etc. They will say, if it's a blend, if it's just a single origin bean. A lot of them will give you, tasting notes, how much coffee is actually in the bag, all these different things. But then you start to get into some of the differences. So for example, you look at this Ecuador. This is a fantastic coffee we'll be talking about in the next episode, but it tells you the region it's from and it tells you the kind of coffee it is, but it doesn't tell you anything about the height that it was grown, the altitude. It gives you tasting notes and where it's from. And that's about it. And then you go to this bag of Portola coffee, and I mean, it tells you the name of the coffee, where it's from, the region that it's from, the elevation, the latitude, longitude. You could literally put in these numbers and find exactly where this coffee was grown. And then it has, a little manifesto of Portola on the side, just some descriptions on the other side. It has tasting notes as well. And yeah, there's a lot of information on this bag. And then we go to the Klatch bag, which I feel like is a good balance between, having so much information and having no information. And this one is pretty simple, It starts from the top and Colombia, it's where it's from. And then it tells you the actual farm location that it's from and then what it is. So this is Colombia, Finca La Maria, I said that right, and Gesha Natural. Then it has notes of raspberry black tea and some florality to it. The region is La Mesa Cundinamarca. I really should have practiced this beforehand, whatever. The varietal is Gesha, the altitude is 1,600 to 1,750 meters, and then the process is natural. And then at the very top, it has, that it's a medium to light roast. And this one of the reasons I love Klatch Coffee is because they show you at the top the coffee review score in points. So for those of you that don't know, coffee is reviewed on a point system, kind of like you would take a test. 100 is the best number you can possibly get. Anywhere from 80 to 100 is considered specialty coffee. So this one got a 96. It is an incredible cup of coffee. I've never seen any other bag of coffee that gives you the actual number. Now, if you go to Madcap's website, I'll throw that up right now, and you type in their journal, they actually give you their entire transparency report, and you can find which coffees are in the Spring Fling blend, and then what the actual numbers are for those coffees. But for Portola, for Ecuador, for Cooper's Cask Coffee, you don't get those numbers. So that is one of the reasons I just love this packaging on this coffee. Now, let's just take a moment, backtrack, and break down everything. Since the Portola bag has the most on it, we are going to use that as the breakdown. So, starting at the top, it tells you the cooperative that it is a part of. Moving down, it's gonna tell you where it's from. So it is from Kenya. So then we move down, it's a Kenya from the Kainamu is like the name of the actual coffee, Kenya Kainamu. And then move to the right, and you'll notice the tasting notes. So dried plum, pomegranate, grapefruit, and rooibos. Now, something really important to note about tasting notes is that just because it says it on the bag does not necessarily mean that every single cup of coffee you brew will taste like this. This has been brewed with much higher equipment than you probably have at home. And this is what, if you brew the perfect cup of coffee, what it should taste like. But that's good because it'll kind of tell you if it's a little more on the brighter acidic side, if it's a little more on the chocolatey side, and that's kind of what you want to know. So like this Gesha is really on like the jasmine, peach, lemon, and apricot, so it's very much on the lighter and fruitier side. And then this Gesha is on like black tea florality, so it's like lighter, but it's not so much the acidic that you would get with, you know, maybe this one right here. So, moving on, it tells you the meters that it's grown out. Moving down, this one, you know, tells you that it is at a certain latitude and longitude, which is just mind-boggling that you could just go look that up. And lastly, it says that it is washed, which is the process. So whether it was natural or washed or, you know, dry natural, whatever it was, then it will tell you the process that it was, you know, processed at. The last thing you should be checking on is the roast date. Most of them will have it on the back on a little sticker or something, and it'll tell you when it was roasted, which is good for you because then you will know the time window you have to use that coffee to get the best cup of coffee. But yeah, when you look at these bags of coffee, the goal is to be able to walk into a shop, look at some bags, and be like, what do I need to know? So I'm gonna give you the 3 things that you'll wanna know. Ready? You want to know where it's from because a lot of times that can actually really influence the coffee. And if you know that you like coffee from Ethiopia, that's a safe bet if you're walking into a shop. If you know that you really love a good chocolatey coffee, just something like milky, chocolatey, deep, earthy, well then if you walk into a shop and you read that there's notes of lush and vibrant with jasmine-like aroma, peach, apricot, and lemon, well then you don't want that coffee, duh, because that is nowhere near the coffee you normally like. But if you walk into a shop and you see that it is notes of toffee, baking spices, and molasses, well that'll tell you that it's a little bit darker, a little bit richer. Now, you're looking at the roast, you're looking at all these different things. The third thing I would look at is the roast if it says. Now, most roasters now will do light to medium. A lot of them don't do a dark roast because it's just harder to do. But between light and medium, it can really influence the flavors of your coffee. A lighter coffee, like roasted coffee, will not have as much of those caramelized flavors that a medium or a dark roast will have, and those sugars will not be as caramelized, which is why it can be a little harder to dial in, it can be a little more acidic and a little more bright, which if you're looking for those bright flavors, it's really good. If you don't like a bright cup of coffee and you like something, like we said, a little more darker and a little chocolatier, then looking at what the actual roasting note is, like medium to light to dark, will be very helpful to you. And last but not least, if you're going into a shop and you're trying to figure out what coffee to buy, look at some, maybe see what you like, and then ask the barista. They should be able to answer any questions you have. And if they can't, take that as a warning. Do you understand me? Take that as a warning and maybe reconsider buying from that shop. If you walk into a shop and the barista can't tell you what like the roasting is and what is special about that coffee and can't hear what you like and help you, then maybe don't buy the coffee from them. They might not know the best and might not be able to help you the best. But if they can tell you, you know, oh, you like a brighter acidic, well, you should try it. This Kenya, it's lovely. We have it on a pour over today. If you'd like to try it as a pour over, you know, blah, 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 blah. If they can tell you about it, great. That is what a barista is here for you. There are so many bad stereotypes about baristas and that we just, you know, don't care about you and we're snobby and all these things. There are some of those people, but really we want to be able to help you and, you know, give you the best experience. So if you walk into a new shop or an old shop and you're finally trying to buy some beans and you're looking and there's a lot to decide from and you can't quite figure out what you want, ask the barista. And hopefully if they are, fingers crossed, a good barista, they will be willing to help you. But yeah, that is what I got for you guys today. I feel like this will be really helpful for all of you when you actually start going back into coffee shops and are looking for a coffee to buy, because even if you don't drink coffee that much, I think it's really good to have coffee, good coffee at home. You don't want to walk into a big superstore and get coffee from there. No, no, no. You want to go straight to a roaster, to a shop that carries it, because that is where you'll get the freshest, best coffee you can possibly get. Guys, thank you all so much. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video, to the channel, ring that notification bell so you know every Monday, Wednesday, Friday when there's a new video. I hope this was a little helpful to you and, you know, shed some light on how to interpret all these crazy hieroglyphics on these bags of coffee so that when you go into a shop or you're looking online for some coffee, you'll understand a little more what is in coffee. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Send some love on Instagram. Would love to keep the conversation going with you there. Until the next time, enjoy a nice cup of coffee from me. Drink something delicious. Let me know what it is, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!